All right. Oh shit. Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of David vs. Goliath. I have a very special guest today. We went to the same acting school in San Francisco, Meisner's training in SF with Jim Jarrett and Melissa Thompson. His name is Carlo Mancasola. Not Italian, by the way. Am I right?
I am Italian.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention to that. He's Italian, but it doesn't sound Italian.
Yeah, Carlos was my name, my birth name, and that's more of a Hispanic name, right? Carlo is the Italian version
that's
of
what
that.
Okay, yeah.
But no, we're very Italian. My family's from a tiny little northern Italy town called Marostica, and I'm third generation. I'm third generation Italian.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Dang. Yep. So that means your parents.
Unless I fucked it up just now, I'm pretty sure it means that my grandparents came from Italy, which is what the case is. And I think that makes I think that makes you third, because I think they are considered first generation,
right,
by coming from there, and then my parents would be second gen, and therefore I'm third.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm considered third generation Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your grandparents lived in Philippines.
Okay, well, technically I'm second generation, but third generation because I have so many older brothers and sisters that moved here in the 70s. So I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 83. And it's just like they've lived here for so long that I say, okay, I'm third generation. Because they're like a very Americanized family too. So yeah, it's just third generation. But anyway, Carlo Mancasola. This guy has been acting for how long now?
When I made the full-on commitment to it, was probably 2000 and I want to say 17.
That's about the same.
So 6 years, yeah.
And then
maybe 2018.
And then Meisner was the first.
That was the first thing I did, yeah.
The first training, okay.
The first official training. I mean, I did some like sketch comedy classes.
Oh, cool.
I did some stand-up.
You did stand-up too?
Yeah, a little bit. I was living in Sacramento, and I was just like bumming around. I had just quit my job, and I had like officially given up on the dream of, not given up on the dream, but I had officially made the decision that I wasn't going to go play ball overseas, because my brother was there and he was trying to get me to. Yeah. So I was like, all right, like clean slate for the first moment in my life. And so I was in SAC. I did a couple like little sketch classes, some stand up. And then I think I'd always known that this is what I wanted to do. I just had never let myself really go pursue it.
Isn't that like so cool? Like you always feel it. I bet you felt it like when you were like a little kid.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're an entertainer.
Yep.
Are you like the only child?
No, I'm one of six.
One of
six kids.
I'm finding out we have more in common than I knew.
You got a ton of siblings.
I'm the youngest of 7.
That's really common in Filipino culture, though, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Just like tons of kids.
And Italian too, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
12.
Wait, are you the middle, youngest?
So I'm second to youngest. I have a little brother.
Oh yeah, that's right. I met your older brother.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a musician and also professional basketball player.
Okay.
My little brother is a professional basketball player. And yeah, I'm right older than him, and then I've got 4 ahead of me.
That's what it is with big families. You're either like you have to be like the entertainer or just like
competing for your voice, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Being the youngest person, like youngest kid, they always picked on me, and they would always force me to just like be like, go up in front and make me laugh, whatever, perform for us, and that's where I got my like chops. I was just like, you know what, I want to do stand up. I like enjoy people laugh, making people laugh, or just entertainer, and that's what made me become an actor. Like I want to just I like the attention, really. I used to make home videos back in the day, like when I was a kid with those like old video cameras. I used to like do little skits, and I'm just happy there's a profession out there that does this, right?
Yeah. Hypothetically, you could pay your bills by just really fucking around. Essentially, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing.
That's what pulled me into Meisner school, because it's just like it's like the living your childlike imagination or type of thing.
Why did you choose the Meisner Technique Studio in the Bay? Were you in the Bay already?
I was in the Bay, so I'm originally from the Bay. I moved back.
Oh, that's right.
I moved to Sacramento for college and then moved back to the Bay. I was doing some bullshit ass job that I hated. It was a merchandiser for alcohol. I used to go in the markets, travel, just like stock the shelves, and that shit was like boring, dreadful. It's just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Sure.
And then I wanted to be like, okay, you know what? I actually want to see what this dream is all about of being an actor. And I was searching online. First thing that came up was Meisner, actually. And then after that, I was reading what they had to offer. And I was like, I just got pulled in because it's just like, it really, and I had a tough time of discovering who I am. I discover who I am really, and then that's what they're kind of like their slogan too. Is just like being truthful. What was it? Being truthful.
Truthful under imaginary circumstances.
Yeah. And then it's just like, it helps you find out who you really are.
Yeah, there's a lot of, especially at that studio, because I've checked out a few other Meisner studios since graduation, and especially at that studio, there's like a few things that they do, these exercises and things they really focus on, I think, that are more specific to that studio because it's not in LA. Mm-hmm. So I believe that the people who run that studio, they know we're not getting people who are in the middle of the industry right now that are just trying to work tomorrow.
Right.
They're dealing with these creatives and artists that are at a very strange place in their life. They have this dream of doing something, and they're not even in the right city to be doing it right now. There's no market in the Bay.
Yeah.
So I think that they knew that, and they go, these people, before we can really start like making them these great actors or whatever, if you can do that, they wanted us to figure out what was going on internally first, right? And like really solve it. And it's almost kind of like a weeding out process. Like it was a 3-year intensive program, and like the first year I really think was them giving you the tools to figure out, do you actually really want to do this for real?
That is so true, yeah.
And you see these people that are dropping off one by one.
Yeah.
And it's because they found out somewhere along the training through one of these weird little exercises, this isn't actually what I want to do. I just like the idea of this. I just like the idea of being famous, or I just like the idea of whatever.
And they push that too. They're like, if this is not for you, there's other acting schools for you. Like you could just do straight up film work, and then they'll teach you
could take a class for 6 months and then go start auditioning if that's what you really want to do. That was actually kind of the first thing when I moved down here. Is I really had no idea, and I'm sure I'm still ignorant to a lot of things, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I graduated from the 3-year Meisner program, as did you and a lot of our friends, and I thought the next best thing was to come out here and immediately start taking more Meisner classes.
Right.
And that was very close-minded of me. And I tried that out and really wasn't being pushed in any way, and just felt very repetitive. And so, no, when I felt like I had a major breakthrough in my personal craft and my personal experience with like controlling my own emotional instrument and as an actor, was when I switched over and started taking more Adler stuff. So my current school it's scene study. There's not a lot of technique or foundational work because it's a lot of people that are already established actors that are working pretty regularly, so they don't need that like technique touch up as much. Yeah. So it's.
And do they require you to have that?
So to get in, you usually have to do either the lower level classes or for whatever reason show them like I'm already working at a high level.
Okay, so
right?
they do offer like if I'm not.
Yeah, you could apply and get right into the top one.
Okay, but people that are beginners, they could just take a.
They have like a intermediate and a beginner one. Okay, yeah, cool. And some people do one session of that and they bounce right up.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So it's more scene work.
It's a scene study class with like really great material, and you dive right in. There's no exercises. There's no activity type, there's no today we're working on this. It's just you only go up and do your scene in front of the teacher. But the work is Adler, and Adler is it's its own thing, and it's different than Meisner. But I needed something different.
When you got in, did you feel like you were limited because you were Meisner trained?
Or yeah. When I came to LA, I said I'm so the first thing I did, I started going on auditions. I mean, not a lot because I didn't really even have reps or anything, but the few opportunities that I did get, I was looking around at these other people and what they were doing, or I would be in the room auditioning and I would just be like, "Oh, I'm clueless right now. I have nothing." Like
even after the business class that they.
I felt really unprepared, man. I felt really unprepared to work at a high level.
I felt the same exact way when I went to my first audition out here. It was just for a student film, but it's just. I thought I was prepared. I thought I had all the tools, but I don't know. I feel like they were looking for something different other than what we were trained for.
For sure. We were trained in this very specific way.
Right.
And it's very pure.
Yeah.
And it's protective of the Meisner process because we are only working with other people who are at this stage of the Meisner program as us. So everybody we're working with is accustomed to working the same way, and we do this for 3 straight years.
Yeah.
And then we come out here, and people are like, no, do that again, but make it funnier. And you're like, wait, I don't know that. I don't understand making funnier. I only know my Meisner operate from the moment and be present and get everything off my partner. But what if you don't even have a fucking partner? And
that's how I am with my comedy class right now. Like the teacher even pointed out, it's like, I feel like you are more truthful rather than
honest, grounded.
Not theatrical. Like I am grounded, but I'm not like. It's like a satire, like comedy. Like they kind of push it more. Yeah. They feel like I'm focused.
You're just being more honest or authentic, or like just like here's what it is.
Pushing the envelope and be like making it more funny, like what you said, like what you were talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's because you have that. That's another. I mean, we could sit here and spend the whole hour talking about this program that we did because there's so much. But that's one of the huge things that program focuses on is like being comfortable with just being yourself, right? And like being present, and like that no longer scares you. So that's probably such a beautiful skill that you have that you can bring into your stand-up. Like you're okay with just sitting there and like doing your shit, telling your story, and like if it doesn't fucking land, it doesn't land. But
I'll tell you, Meisner did help with stand-up when I because I didn't even think about stand-up before I moved here, but when I did do it, I kind of brought the Meisner training into it, just feeling like present, grounded, and all that. And then I felt like, well, my friend Nog, she was in our class. She said,
I know Nog.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she brought it up. She's like, yeah, you look more grounded. You like grounded yourself more than I see you in class, and I think it elevated it to that type of level. So I definitely want to get back into stand up because after that it was like just kept going up for me. Like,
what about content creation? Because I know for a minute when you were doing your stand-up, you were doing more. At least I'm horrible. I'm awful on social media and stuff. So maybe you're still doing it. But I remember when I was on it a little more actively. Around that time, you were doing a lot of content creation, and man, it was like fucking TikTok? In like just shorts, comedic shorts and sketch stuff. Like, so I think you're so great at that, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting back into it. All those like just the groove of it again. I definitely want to continue like just making more content. It's just the that whole I don't want to use this as an excuse, but the fucking pandemic happened, right? And it's just like it just put me in a rut. I was just like, man, I don't know what to do. Like I got so unmotivated by it, but I feel like I'm getting back into it because this sitcom class is just it's a Goliath, like I'm talking about. The class is it just being in a class makes you lights that fire again.
Man, you need things, especially if you're not a regular working actor, reporting to set for 80 days out of your 365. Like, to me, that sounds pretty good, right? If you have like 80 days on set out of your year, like that's a pretty good year. That means you were on a couple, a few different things, right?
Even extra work. I just did background work for this new show. Just being on that set is just like hella motivating.
But it's hard. It's hard for us to get those opportunities for people at the earlier stages. And so class, things like that, you need something that you can substitute, that it's just one more day that you have to show up. You had to do some work. You had to put something in front of somebody that could have probably sucked, probably did suck. And the more days that you have in your year that you put something out there, that you did something that took effort, it took connection, it took, your commitment. The more days out of the year that you have where you're doing that, I think the more you grow over that year. And class is just, every time I sign up for class, I'm like, oh, this is just 6 more days that I get to do that. 6 more days that I get to do that.
It's just like any other profession too, but especially in this, it's a nonstop growing type of business. You always have to learn something, or otherwise you're just gonna feel comfortable and just stay in one spot, really. So
very easy to do in this industry.
Very easy to do, yeah. So I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think is your biggest Goliath, like your wall that's kind of not necessarily pushing you back, but kind of holding you to where you really want to be?
Yeah, man, sure. Man, I'm going to just be honest. I'm going to be super, I'll tell you, it's the industry, bro.
This is not just for us. This is for the people, too. Like, this is for people
this is probably a very arrogant sounding response, but my Goliaths are not internal.
Okay.
They're external.
Okay.
I've put in a massive amount of work to feel like I'm at a place where I'm in my craft and I can operate in the top 1% of the industry. So, I'm not saying I'm the greatest fucking actor, and I think that's a ridiculous thing to claim anyway, and this art form is so subjective. But I do know that I'm very committed to this, and I have worked really hard to be able to bring something to the table every time I do this, no matter what it is. And then on top of the work that I put in just towards like my craft, I put in so much work just like as an individual to be ready for, opportunities and to be ready for lifestyle changes and just things that may happen in this industry. So longest fucking story ever short. My biggest Goliath, I think right now, is just solving some of those industry hurdles. Like, you want to have the right people pitching you for the right jobs. I think as an actor, like if you can look at yourself and say, I'm at least being seen by the people I need to be seen by for the roles that I should be seen by, then everything falls on your shoulders. It's up to you, and
are you at that point right now?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, that's
absolutely not. So so my problem is getting adequate representation so that I'm having people pushing for me.
So you're basically, like you said, not to sound arrogant, but you're basically outgrown your agency, really.
Absolutely. I've outgrown my
well,
my
that's a good
representation.
thing. That's a good thing then. Like you're ready for the next advancement, really.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a hurdle. It's definitely something you got to go through, though.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
It
to
is,
just be like, well, I'm ready for the next stage, so bring it on. And the world's like, fuck you got to come
right
get
now,
it.
you feel like you're in limbo, right?
Exactly, yeah. Well, I just feel like, I've been ready for that for a little while now, and it's just easier said than done, man. Like you have to. There's a million. I'm also not trying to like play a pity party. There's a million of me that are ready for. I know we were talking about this before we went live, but like I know so many fucking people out here, you included, who are so talented beyond, what your representation is or what people understand you to be, just because you don't. This is such a closed door industry. Only a few people get to really go do this shit.
Yeah, like you said, it's easier said than done. But when you do realize that, it's something you got to go through. It's teaching you really patience, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure you're learning a lot about that. But it's a testament to like we can't really lose our faith in it. Like you said, you're over it before this, and then. Really you're not. You're just like
man, I'll say
getting kind of restless about it.
I'll say I'm over it 100 more times, and I'm sure once this like I feel like people are so famous out here for having these fucking stories of like it's one ceiling after another ceiling after another ceiling. So everybody wants to be here, and then once you get here, you want to be there, and then once you're there, you want to be there, and it's just. You're just breaking down ceiling after ceiling after ceiling, right? Yeah. And there's always something better. Once you're repped by UTA and you're in the door and you're going out all the time and you're starting to book, some legitimate shit, then you want to be, in complete control of your own creative profession, and you want to start writing your own things, and these, you want these kind of roles, and there's always something next that you can want. And I'm actually, man, for the first time these last couple of months, I've found some real joy in being like, no, I love where I am. Good. Like this is such a cool fucking time in my life where, and maybe it'll be like this forever, or maybe I'll quit and move to Iowa in a couple months, who knows? But I'm just saying this is a really cool time in my life where I'm like, I'm just a startup creative surrounded by so many other startup creatives. Yeah. And that's such an insane, like, just to think whirlwind of people that are under pressure, and we're all broke and we're all starving.
I had a kind of similar conversation with my friend who's an artist, and he's just saying, how lucky are we to live out our dream no matter where we are? Like in our, he's just beginning too. And it's just like, when you put it in that perspective, it's just not many people can do what we do. You know what I mean? Like they're not fortunate enough to be able to live out their dream, and I can't really complain about that, you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. And some people judge the experience based on the success that they're having, like, presently. And I feel like they're being robbed of, like, some of the most special moments. Like, I think, let's say you and I have everything that we ever want happen with our artistic careers, right? And we just have these amazing lives ahead of us. Great. I think we're going to reflect on some of these moments of like being just starving artists, like we put on these like little, class workshops where we're just meeting together in these little dungy 20-seat theaters and like trying shit out in front of each other. Like those are moments that you're just going to fucking remember forever and love. Like I worship those moments.
Yeah, definitely.
There's there's so much purity in those spaces. Mm-hmm. And when you have like a bunch of people who the egos are gone, like none of us think we're shit, we're all just like trying shit out in front of each other. You get some of the coolest stuff in the world in those spaces.
Damn, man. Yeah. I love hearing that from you because, I kind of envy you because you said your Goliaths are external, mine are internal. So I'd rather be in the external part already and just like I'm like.
Can you elaborate? I want to hear. I haven't heard you talk about it.
My internal thing is just like I care way too much what people think about me, like a lot, and that shit, like I feel like is so detrimental to what I feel like I'm really capable of putting out there as far as my like acting and like my stand up, my comedy. I feel like whenever I perform and people think that I'm doing good, inside I feel like I could do way so much better if there was in that block inside of me, of that wall inside of me of just not caring, because a lot of people's opinions, like I get very it navigates to what my performance is, and I don't want it to be that way, I want to be so free from that. Yeah. And I feel like I have a lot of growth in that where I need to be. And like I said, like I'm breaking that down by just keep on doing it, because when I was doing stand up, I told you before, like I felt that was really elevating me to my potential already. But like I said, don't want to make an excuse, but the pandemic happened and then I just went back. So slowly getting back in there, but damn, I know that feeling again that I was feeling before. I was just like, I just need to break that down and just like not give a shit.
I mean, that's so much easier said than done though, David. And I hear you, but I also feel like we all feel that to some degree, and don't beat yourself up on that at all. Like use it, use that, like that you really care about what other people think about you. I believe in that completely, because I think that's why we do this. That's why, like, take stand-up out of it, take all this other stuff out of it, but just from an acting perspective, I think you should really care what people think about your work. Okay. I really do. I mean, this is just me, but I really do. I think that's the whole point, is we're trying to serve these writers. Yeah. And we're trying to tell these stories accurately, that these writers spent hours and hours and days of their lives trying to get a message across. Wow. And then they trust us as actors to go out and tell this story and do it truthfully. I think the whole reason why we want to be actors is because we want people to be able to say, thank you for telling that story truthfully, because that story moved me. Okay. Wow. Right? Yeah, and so maybe like don't beat yourself up on that, and shift your focus to like, it's okay that I really care what people think about me, and then channel it into, because I want to be the best actor I can be, because I want to serve these stories, right? Mm-hmm. And then that way it doesn't feel like this restrictive, like, I care so much about what everybody's judging me about, but it's more of this fuel to your fire of like, I just want to really grow in this and be as good as I can be so that I can serve these things that are bigger than me.
I've never thought about it that way. Yeah. Really, like, I mean, that's true, because we're here to entertain, and you can't entertain without caring what other people think, because you want them to, like, not like you, but you want them to see what you are.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean,
I don't know. That's just something commonly comes up. Yeah. Okay. Is like, this whole like, actor struggling with this narcissistic like umbrella that encompasses us of like, we care so much about being seen, and we care so much about being like lauded by our viewers. But it's like, well, yeah, that's the whole fucking point of storytelling is like, nobody's telling stories to a wall. I like that. We're all telling stories to people, and we want to move those people because we've all been moved. Mm-hmm, like, I don't know about you, like the last time I watched a movie and was just fucking sitting there crying, bawling my eyes out because I was so moved by that shit. Like, those are some of the best days of, like, that's unbelievable. Those are amazing experiences. I want to be able to try to give that to somebody. Yeah. And then when I'm done with that movie, I'm like thinking about those actors. I'm like, man, thank you for like giving me a glimpse at some truth. That was beautiful.
Was the movie Dumb and Dumber?
It was Dumb and Dumber. And it was in the dog van car thing, and with all the and it just moved me. Don't get me started on this, dude.
I just wanted to know who's the actors that you looked up to, actors, actresses, and that motivated you really.
So I think when I became an actor full time and said this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, that's when I started taking it seriously. So I don't really have them from like my childhood.
Sure, yeah.
There were movies, but I wasn't paying attention to performance like I do now, and so I think I was just a little more disconnected to the actor, the creative, right. I guess. But since really like paying attention, there's a few that have really. I mean, there's so many great ones, but there's a few that just every time I watch them, they just stand out to me. Christopher Abbott is a big one. Yeah, he's just absolutely fantastic.
What movies has he done?
The first one that I ever saw of his, and this was kind of his coming out party as an actor, was this indie film called James White, and he's just ridiculously powerful in it. Mm-hmm. And then he's done some Broadway productions, and then now he's kind of on the cusp of blowing up and becoming a real force in the industry. But he did a TV show called Catch-22. Okay. He did a movie with John Bernthal called Sweet Virginia, where he was very good. And then most recently, him and Gerard Carmichael did this film called On the Count of Three. And it's him and Gerard Carmichael, who's a stand-up.
Yeah. He wrote the Golden Globes, right?
Yep. He wrote and directed this. Wow. I think it was his directorial debut, possibly. Holy shit! Wow. And it's just him and cool. Him and Chris Abbott across from each other. Mm-hmm. They're like the two main characters, and they take up about 90% of the screen time of this film. Uh-huh. And they just both are insanely good. So sorry, I like Chris Abbott. I like Matthias Schoenaerts. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then I like Tom Pelphrey's pretty dang good, too. He's the guy from Ozark that people really like.
Which one is he from Ozark?
He's the brother from Ozark that's like kind of got the mental stuff going. Yeah. But he's very solid, too.
Okay. I've only seen him in Ozark, though.
Yeah, he did Mank, too. That was another big one. Like, immediately.
Yeah. I don't know any of these.
It's funny because I just know my guys. I'm talking about my guys, but I don't watch as much stuff as I should. Do you watch a lot of shit?
I watch a lot of mainstream stuff.
That's
what I get my shit from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm bad on the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
I don't watch that much. Yeah. Well, I just don't watch that much shit to begin with. I don't have a TV. Yeah, man. And I probably watch maybe 1 or 2 episodes of like television a week, maybe on a big week.
Okay.
I like to watch films. And I like to watch films in theaters. Like, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I love movie going, too.
What's your favorite film of this year? I have to know.
A lot of people did not like this movie. It's so mainstream, though. Babylon.
I didn't see it.
Oh, my God. I loved it so
Good?
much. Yeah, it's basically about our industry. But,
yeah.
Do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't it about, like, the first talkies? The first speaking movies, right?
Transition between silent film and the talkies. And, it's these characters, Brad Pitt.
Our buddy was in the background of it. Peter, I believe.
From Meisner?
Yeah, I believe he was background on it.
No way.
Yeah.
I heard. I just had
because he was talking about Chazelle as a director. And
I heard
Brad
the background for that movie was horrible. Just
in terms of conditions and stuff.
Like they had to film in a desert.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't that like
the fighting scene.
I heard that day. I heard that background was that day was like very.
Well, that was Peter. We should talk to him about it. Because sorry, Peter, if I'm throwing you out there, but.
And there was actually the Meisner trained student that had a good part in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago though.
Not from our studio though.
From SF, yeah.
Oh no way.
Yeah, Jim talked about him a lot. He was in another Brad Pitt movie, Assassination of James.
Oh yes, he was in that. He was in Babylon as well.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people did not like it.
I feel like movies about the industry itself tend to be a little touchier for some reason. There's a lot of more hate around it. Okay. No, Babylon's a good one. I've heard from a couple people they were like, "This movie's fantastic. You need to watch it."
Yeah, but I recommend people watching it in the theater if you can, because it's not the same.
Well, good luck. It came out like what? Oh no, I guess that one wasn't that long ago.
I think it's still in the theaters.
There you go.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like fall.
But isn't it the theater just
different?
Going to the film, going in the theater makes it so much better.
Man, there's just like a legitimate. Maybe it's because I watch a lot of my stuff on my laptop.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because like you said, I don't have a TV. I don't own a TV, so I just watch it on my laptop. And like, there's certain movies that I'll start watching them on my laptop, and I'll just pause, and I'm like, I can't do this here because I'm just doing this film a fucking disservice, and I'm really like, when you can't hear certain parts of like the or I'm just talking about like the sound, like the mixing, like you can't appreciate certain parts of the sound mixing because you don't have the appropriate speakers or the scale of the screen to really like put you in that place. Like All Quiet on the Western Front. Okay. I started watching it on my laptop. Uh-huh. I realized in like 5 minutes, I was like, this movie's fucking unbelievable. Yeah. Paused it and had to go watch it on like big TV, big speakers, because like the sound mixing is incredible. Is
it a series or a movie?
No, All Quiet on the Western Front's a film this year. It's nominated for Best Picture.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original, I believe, and it's about World War One.
Okay.
It's very good. Very, very good.
For some reason, but I need to watch
it. It kind of looked like it could have been, like from the picture and everything, like it could have been like a little 6-episode miniseries, but it's not. It's a feature. Okay. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. It's dense though. Like it's heavy. Yeah. We're talking World War One trench warfare. People like getting. It's bad. It's brutal, bro. You have to be ready to see some shit.
I grew up on Jim Carrey. His performance, like. He just moved me, like as far as like laughter wise. But like you're starting to look more into their acting, right? And rather than being like connected to them. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying, but
yeah, but I hear what you're saying. I get it.
Like I'm starting to like actually study these actors now. There's this one guy, I forgot his name. He's from Breaking Bad. Did you watch Breaking Bad? Yeah. It was the guy who shot the kid, and then he turned into like a bad villain. And
that narrows it down. Breaking Bad's got about 700 villains, so now I just have to go through them alphabetically. Like so obviously not Giancarlo Esposito, the guy who gets his face blown off.
No, he lived actually.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. It's been probably like 7 years since I've seen Breaking Bad. So
he looks like Matt Damon. He looked like a
generic white guy. Okay, but I'll take your word for it. What about him? You just like him? And
yeah, he played that role like he played a scary villain in Breaking Bad, and then after that I feel like he has like comedy timing too, because he was in a movie with James Van Game Night. He was there. He played the cop, and he was a funny ass cop, just like even if he wasn't trying to be. Yeah, I mean.
And so you're just saying you're being more attentive to these people's like as an artist and like their journey and just appreciating that. You're saying like this guy moved you as a villain in Breaking Bad, and then a couple years later you're seeing him be this comedic cop, and you just have more appreciation for that now, right? Totally, I get that. Okay, cool. Just something that like I wouldn't have paid attention to when I was younger, really. Sure, yeah, exactly. And now you're like, oh, I get it. Like that's fucking hard. You did you moved me one way, and then you moved me in a completely different way.
That's why I feel like Jim Carrey was a good example, because we saw him come from like fucking sketch shows to like stand-up sketch shows, and then to like serious roles, and then just like he I wouldn't say completed like the whole journey, but damn, he's gone through a lot. He's been through
What more can you ask from an individual? That dude has just put everything out there, and I totally feel you. Like,
just wonder how that level is like.
Well, he's an interesting one. Like you can hear him talk about it, and you can see the cynicism behind it. Mm-hmm. You know that he's like, when he's talking, he's like, you can just feel how he's this incredible creative with so much fucking talent. But I'm sure there are so many parts of this industry and parts of this world that just kind of make him sick. Yeah. And you can, but yeah, he's a funny guy, man. He's funny guy. Yeah, very wise. Yeah. I love him, man. I think he seems like the term, like an old head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just people that have perspective. He's got rare perspective.
I feel like Jim Carrey to me is because you told me before Ryan Reynolds was your...
No. Yeah. I love Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. You don't know the reason why I love Ryan Reynolds? That man is so watchable doing absolutely jack shit. Yeah. He's so fucking funny.
That's exactly how I would put
just like... him. Tying his shoes, man. Like it's not even funny. He's just watchable. He's just obsessively watchable. And it's so frustrating being one of us that's like on the outside looking in. But he's man, I love him. I love people that people think that shit comes easy, and it doesn't. It comes from a lifetime of having charisma, which is never easy to sustain over the course of a lifetime, right? And and probably being like, he's probably been through some shit too, and so he just has this, to be watchable it can be at times. I'm sure there's people that just naturally are, but it's tricky, and he's so fucking watchable.
Yeah.
He's like,
I feel like he doesn't even like push it too hard too.
No.
Yeah, he'll just
put on a junky Ryan Reynolds movie from like 1997, dude, and you'll be entertained for 2 hours for sure. Yeah, even if the rest of the movie's dog shit.
He had a very good career.
Yes.
Has a very good career.
For sure.
And that'd be awesome if you could make a movie with him. Damn.
Oh man, there's a few of those guys for sure that I'm like, if I could ever.
If you could make a movie with
one person,
let's say actress, who would it be?
I think I gravitate more towards a lot of males' performances because I'm pulling when I'm watching performances. I'm thinking about what was their process and how could I relate it. And for whatever reason, there's a gender wall there. And for a lot of female performances, I feel more of an attachment just because I identify as a male, and that's what I am. This is kind of silly and very that's not silly, but it's very predictable. My mom was obsessed with Meryl Streep, and I think even when I was like little, she was one of the first people that I remember like watching a Meryl Streep film with my mom and just being like, oh, I could visibly see how she was doing such an unbelievable job compared to the rest of the actors and actresses. Yeah. And I think that'd be really special to do, like to be a part of a production that she was somehow connected with. I think it'd be a sentimental thing for me as well with my mom, but and just also she's the GOAT.
Do you want to
she's the GOAT?
Do you want to do more romance films or like I know you want to be in drama for sure.
In terms of just what kind of stuff I'd like to work on, I think I would. For me, it's more about the story, the story. If the story happens to be romantic, wonderful. But I just love to be a part of stuff that the story is everything to me, and what's being talked about. Why does this matter? Mm-hmm. Why does it not matter? Whatever it is, just for me, I feel like at least I can do comedic stuff. I can do drama. I can kind of do a little bit of whatever. So that's not as important. I guess I do like the heavier stuff. I tend to lean more towards the heavier stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can see you like in a war movie.
Yeah, I like heavy drama, relationship drama, family drama. Yeah. I would love to do some more stuff as well, and for sure. What about you? What do you wanna?
Right now it's comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Like just stupid comedy stuff, like Superbad or Dumb and Dumber, or
it's not stupid. It's that's the best, man.
Like fun stuff.
Laughter's the greatest thing ever. You know.
Eventually, I do want to do like drama, but it's leaning towards comedy stuff right now.
And then eventually branch out.
Yeah, branch out eventually. Yep. Yeah. Man, this was a cool talk, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did. Thank you.
Likewise,
again,
brother.
Cheers. All right, this is a game I like to play with my guests. We're not really strangers. It's basically, a game to get to know each other really better. I mean, I feel like I learned a lot about you this past hour or half hour. I feel like we had a lot of similarities, really.
I think we do. I think we have a lot of.
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot of shit that we're connected with, man.
So we don't have to play by the rules.
Okay.
Yeah, big families, yeah, for sure. But so we don't have to follow the rules. We just pick a card and then read it.
Read it. Wait, so it doesn't matter which level it is?
No, just whatever. Either side.
This is a very erotic first question.
All right.
I hope you're ready to get a little erotic.
I'm wearing a cup right now.
A protective cup from not having a boner on camera. Because I frequently get uncontrollable erections, and it would be very visible on camera. What parts of yourself do you see in me?
This is what I had this question.
You're not as childish as I am. I can tell.
What do I have? No, I had this question with Amaru. That's why.
Oh shit! Yeah. You want to switch it up?
No, it's fine. So what
what do you see about you and me?
I feel like our sense of humor is pretty similar.
Yeah.
I feel like we're sensitive people, Not as far as like I mean all actors are sensitive really, right? But I feel like we think really deep in a sense that not to say we think too much, but we like to analyze a lot of stuff, and that's a strength really. But where we differ is that I feel like you can use that as you use it as your strength, or you use it to your advantage. Where I feel like it kind of breaks me down, but not breaks me down, but
you mean like you get analytical to a degree that you feel like it's a detriment to you in some way, like it negatively impacts you
in some way. Like
like
way.
What ways?
Like I always worry. Oh, did I say something wrong, or did I offend that person, whatever? But you would be just like kind of. I feel like you could just easily move on, but at the same time, you are sensitive to that. But
yeah, I probably would be the kind of guy to just like offend somebody and be like, fuck it. They'll figure it out. It's their problem now. No, I definitely am that kind of person for sure. But no.
Are you a sensitive guy? Do you feel like?
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too pleady where I'm sitting here being like, I'm sensitive. Trust me, I'm sensitive, okay? And they're like, no, you're not. You have no empathy.
Dumber made you cry. That has to give you fucking sense.
No, yeah, man, I fucking cry during movies all the time. Well, I'm more just interested in what you were just talking about, which is you and, man, that's real. To be worrying about what you said or how an interaction goes. I have that shit almost every time I talk to somebody. Like, I will literally talk to a cashier and I'll be like, did I fuck that up? Did I was I polite enough? Did I and just like totally. Yeah, absolutely. You're not alone in that, man.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No, you're not alone in that at all. I think maybe a little bit the people to watch out, not the people to watch out for. That's very cynical, but like, yeah, I mean, I think it's good to care. It just sounds like you care, David, and that really matters, man. Like it's not coming from this like selfish place of you being like, you wanting something from people. No, it's because you want to not hurt people. You want people to like you, which is like a beautiful fucking thing. People think that those are like negative traits. They're not. That's beautiful, man. You want to have a positive impact on people's lives and you care about it. And you're not so self-secure that you're able to just like have a conversation and just walk away being like, I crushed that shit. They're going to be happier now that they talk to me. They're going to be so fucking, I just made their fucking day. They got to talk to me for 30 seconds. No, dude, that's really great that you have that, man. Okay. You should be like, no, that's fucking normal that you have that.
Yeah, this guy, he's very wise for his. How old are you, motherfucker?
I'm 51.
You sound like a motherfucker. Okay.
I'm 51, guys.
But number one thing is for sure our sense of humor. I feel like.
I think so too.
But I feel like your sense of humor gets like you make anybody laugh. Your sense of humor, like, well, that's
I'm blushing.
The way same with me. It's just me. I have the wall, but you. Trump build the wall. I'm running myself. But no, honestly, like.
No, yeah, I think so too. Whenever we hang out, we just
need to make a skit together.
The other fucking last month or whenever it was that we hung out last, we went out to a bar that is a very popular bar for people to go out that are wanting to meet people, shall we say. And me and you spent the entire time just fucking making each other laugh, talking shit the entire time. We have very similar sense of humor.
That was a fun night because we were actually meeting a lot of people, and people gravitated toward us.
I think you had me crying with laughter.
All right, Mr. Carlo Mancasola. Do you think image... do you think the image you have... We could pass to.
Hard pass.
Do you think the image you have of yourself matches the image people see you as?
Oof. I wanted to jump to a quick answer and say absolutely not, but now I'm thinking about the question a little bit more. That means that, do I see myself as the way that others see me, right?
Yes, yeah.
No, I think I'm warped. I think it's warped on both ends. I think that in some areas of my life, I see myself as this, let's just really blanket everything and say like better person, or like, and better meaning like cooler, funnier, kinder, just everything, every good trait that a person could have, I guess. I see myself as being better in some areas than I actually am. And then I also think that I have a self-deprecation view of my, a bit of a thought pollution about myself in certain areas that people have to remind me at times, like, no, man, that's not you. Okay. So I think I'm off in a lot of, I think I'm off.
Kind of like in both ways.
In both ways, yeah. In both ways. Yeah, I think I'm really hard on myself in certain areas, and people are like, "No, you're fine with that." And then in other areas, I'm like, "Oh, I'm great at that." And then my girlfriend will be like, "No, you're not." She'll be like, "You need to fucking work on that."
You interesting how that works, though.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, like I feel like I have this nervous energy that people feel like that I feel like people can see, but really, people tell me sometimes like, "No, you don't seem nervous at all. You
don't seem nervous."
Okay. Yeah. See, it's just like that. There's another one where it's just like, I feel like I'm not like a ladies' man or anything, but I feel like
people project that onto you a little bit.
People project saying, "Really, I thought you get girls, or I thought you get like."
Man, I think that's I'm sorry to simplify this, but I think that comes down to the fact that you live in Los Angeles, you're not a fucking teenager, and you're single, and like that's like. And like you have like you dress nice and you like take care of yourself. That's kind of a bit of an identity that I think is just projected onto people that are like you. Like you're confident, you're funny, you dress nice, you're single, you're not a kid, and you're out and about and you're social. And that is unfortunately just like comes with the territory of those boxes that you check.
Sure, yeah.
It's not anything that like you say or do that makes you be like, "Oh, David's a playboy, like David's just sleeping with everybody," you don't ever say anything like that. But long story short, I hear you. Same. I think. Well, not about the ladies' man thing. I know. But about the just about like I think we have these ideas of ourselves. That are wrong.
That are wrong.
Which is true.
Wrong. It's just like.
Not wrong, but maybe not. They don't hit home. They're not true to our core.
It's something we just can't really think about because we are who we are. And
I don't know. Are you a ladies' man, David?
No, I'm not a ladies' man.
You're not?
See? I'm not.
Can we get this on the record? We're getting this in writing. David, are you or are you not a ladies' man?
Yeah.
I need you to put your hand up and swear over your chest, over your heart.
Bible. Let's just move on.
I am not a ladies' man. He wants off this topic, everybody. He doesn't like this topic.
I've been single for a long time. Let's just say I wish I was a ladies' man, but I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't believe that.
See, there you go.
Oh, interesting. Level 2 connection. Has a stranger, David, ever changed your life?
Has a stranger ever changed my life?
That's what I said.
Stranger danger. Yeah, I got kidnapped one time. And
it was pretty life-changing.
It just kind of sound weird, but when I first met a homeless guy, I was like, when I was very young, it changed my perspective because they're human beings. I had a conversation with them, and they're not all sad. I mean, despite like what they look like and whatever, like. They seem like they can be sad, but this guy was actually he had a positive attitude and everything, and it just changed my perception on how I see like people in different situations. Like everyone's human, everyone's dealing with their own problems. I can't judge a book by its cover really, and meeting that homeless guy. This was like after college. It was outside of a club. I was drunk, by the way, and we were just chopping it up, and then...
Wait, so the first time you met a homeless person, you were in college?
No, I'm sorry. First conversation I had with a homeless guy.
We had different childhoods.
I
come from the streets, bro. I was homeless at 6.
Well, there's not a lot of homeless people where I grew up because there's homes, but
wait, did you say because there's no homes?
There's homes.
Did you grow up in the Sahara fucking desert?
No, I didn't say no homes. I said I don't know what I'm saying, but first time I had a conversation with a homeless guy.
Yeah, sure.
Straight conversation with him. And yeah, changed my life forever.
Yeah, man, that'll do it. And I agree with you. I think there's perspective in people that are on the streets for sure, because they all have a pretty significant reason why they're there. And I totally agree with you. In fact, I would raise you and say that there's a lot of people that live on the streets that are much happier than people who are
wanting to pay like $3,000 a month.
Yeah. Fucking people living in mansions, man. I think we have some of the most unhappy human beings in the top 1% of wealth in the world. I think that comes with the territory in a lot of ways. Yeah. Fucking, well, wherever. Yeah, I just think that money is Man, I literally heard this yesterday from somebody that I respect greatly, and they said that money is one of the least significant things that you can judge a person's, like, well, I'm butchering this quote now, but they said, like, a person's wealth has nothing to do with a person's stature, has nothing to do with the significance of that individual. In fact, it's a very untelling characteristic. If you have a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you're the most talented. It doesn't mean, so lucky. Yeah, it could be, exactly. 100%. Or you had to do some fucked up shit to get a lot of money, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of
which happens most of the time.
Yep.
If you're making in the millions category, you probably had to do something a little fucked up.
A lot of people this is why we're like in a town where a lot of people sold their souls.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I sold mine recently.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like doing what?
Can't talk about it. But you'll see it soon. Coming to a theater near you.
Oh, really? You do have something coming up? No, you. Really?
I do have a couple things coming out.
Yeah. Well, plug it in right now while I pick the next card.
Yeah. You can buy all my merch at my website, which I recently gave up the domain to. So if anybody wants to go steal my domain name, they can. But no, I'll have some stuff coming out, but I don't want to plug it.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
What would make you feel closer to me?
Oh, that's interesting. I know exactly what it is, and I would like to ask for it. I think just more time, me and you, man.
There you go. I love that.
Like, I'm serious. We always, like, I feel like the first 50 times that me and you hung out, and that might be an exaggeration, but we
always had a good time.
First of all, we always had a fucking good time, and me and you would always connect and hang out, and I loved chopping it up with you, but it was always with groups, and we never just, like, me and you went and kicked it and, like, did something, and I would love to, man. You're so much fun. I really enjoy being around you. I love talking with you, and so I think...
I feel the same way, man.
Yeah, I think definitely. Just more time, me and you.
Yeah.
Because I would love to get to know you, like, on that, like, I don't know about you with your guy friendships. Well, I shouldn't say guy, but just your friendships. Mm-hmm. Like, they take on a different form when you start really hanging out. And obviously, we're doing a podcast right now, so it's very weird. This isn't a great example. But, like, if we just, like, went and, like...
It could be a good example, though.
It could, I'm sure we're gaining stuff from this. But, like, when me and you just, like, we just go grab a lunch or something, or a coffee or a beer and kick it. That's when friendships become different.
When you were here, you said when you first moved here by yourself, I was like, damn it, I wish I knew you were here so we can... Like,
we didn't really know each other like that.
That's true, yeah. But
like, I knew of you, and when we would see each other, I'd be like, what's up?
Yeah.
But that was kind of it. We didn't...
you know who's moving here is Lauren. She's going to move here, my niece.
No fucking way.
She's moving here in the summer, for sure.
Well, she went to school in...
Shout out, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. I used to call her Lil D, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. But I could think you were like the big Devera or whatever.
Oh, that's
and we used to call her Lil D. So anyway, she was like she was everybody in class's favorite, and we were all heartbroken when she left.
Yeah.
But she was in school in like San Diego or some shit, or where was she in school? Or SF?
Arizona now.
Arizona.
But it's her last semester, and she has a job lined up for her
out here.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Yeah. That's rad. We'll have to all kick it.
Yeah.
That'll be dope.
She definitely misses you guys. She talks about you all the time.
She was super talented too. She was so talented. I mean, we only got to see her for a little bit.
She's a unique individual. Like, I love her. I love her style. I love her, like, just her.
Man, that's rad. Are you gonna help her get situated a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually. So it's funny because my nephew just moved here too.
Oh, no way.
I moved him out here. I want him to, like. I feel like it's gonna open. He's in that stage where he's trying to find himself too, like what he really wants to do, and I feel like he's in perfect.
Man, place. Los Angeles is a great place to do that.
But yeah, definitely let you guys know when Lauren.
Yeah,
comes.
For sure.
But yeah, me and you definitely will have some.
Amazing.
Quality good.
Some time.
Bro time.
Man, so here's the thing. Some of these questions are so deep. It's like you need to... I'm a slow thinker. You need like 10 minutes to like really think about your life to find an answer that even like remotely comes close to this. But no, I'm asking you this. You're not getting out of this one. What is the most unexplainable thing that's ever happened to you? That's like hard, man. That's fucking brutal.
Definitely a fucking drunk story.
No, that's a cop-out.
Is it really?
That's a cop-out. Unexplainable?
It's okay, yeah. But it is explainable. Well, I'll say that story for another time. But it's pretty bad.
Okay, I want to hear it now. If you have one queued up. I'm just impressed at how quickly you got one queued up.
I woke up in...
a different place?
Someone's car. It was parked in the driveway, their house. And then I woke up to... a girl opening it and screaming as loud as she can.
Holy shit.
I woke up, I was like, what the fuck am I? I walked out, hella neighbors were outside.
I would have drove off.
At me. It's not my car.
I would have found a way.
I opened the door, looked up. Hella neighbors were looking at me. I ran and
you were naked.
I didn't even know what city I was in. Honestly, I didn't. And
did it happen to be your hometown?
I found no. It was
desert?
actually in Concord. And then I found.
How the fuck did you get in Concord?
I used to work at a restaurant there. It was the opening night for us. And then I tried to like break into a church because I was not gonna
church.
Because I wasn't gonna go home. That was the closest thing that I could like find a place to like just sleep for a little bit. And then I was like, "Fuck this."
So hold on a second. Yeah. What year was this?
This was 2 days ago. No, I was kidding. This was 2015.
Okay, there were definitely Ubers. So at this point, you woke up.
I didn't have my phone. The only thing I had on me.
You chose a church.
That was
you needed sleep so bad that you went to a church. And the fact that you chose like a church, you were like, this is it.
I tried to break into a church. That's even worse. But
good grief, man.
Because my friend. Okay, so this is what happened. My friend lived there. That he was another manager. We were both managers. I tried to. We went out because it was our grand opening, and then I was supposed to sleep at his place. But he forgot his keys, so he went asleep on his porch, and then I just walked away. I wander off a lot when I'm drunk. I was wandering the streets, whatever, in the neighborhood, and then I guess I found the door to this car that was open. I slept there, and once I woke up the next day,
you found an unlocked car.
Yeah, I was opening
in
all
a
these
drunken
doors.
stupor, and you were just like, "This is it. This is home for the night."
This is home for the night.
Man, this is one of the most unexplainable things I've ever heard, and so that makes sense as to why this is the most unexplainable thing. I'm really glad you shared that, dude, because that's impressive that you just have that queued up. Yeah. But
it's a longer story, but long story short, I made it home with I only had my ID with me, and I had to.
That's fucking wild,
I had to
man.
take the BART home, and whatever.
I have had one moment in my life where I woke up and I didn't know how I got there.
I know you had all these stories too. A lot of these.
No. I don't like the picture you're painting of me. No, I have very few of these stories, but I do have I know what you mean. I've had like 1 or 2 times in my life where I literally woke up and was like, how the fuck am I here in this place? But I've never blacked out.
You've never blacked out?
I've never blacked out. No.
Wow.
No, I'm a good drunk, and I don't.
Is it because you know your limits?
Yeah, I've always kind of known my limits, and like the few times that I did happen to not know my.
At your beers like that's not that much.
Yeah. No. Excuse you, I've had just as much as you have. In fact, I've had more. But no, yeah, I know my limits, and I never. The times that I did push it, I didn't. I was never around people who were peer pressuring me to drink more, thankfully.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing that's kind of fucking crazy. The very first time, everybody that hears this is gonna cry bullshit. But the very first time I ever drank, I killed a 40-ounce E&J whiskey. Yeah. Because with my adopted brother. I think those are 40. The big handles, like the big thick handle ones.
Those are the liters.
Or no, I'm sorry that I'm fucking this up. It's probably more. It's like the handle. It's like the big, bulbous handle of whiskey. Yeah. Okay.
You killed that by yourself,
bro. We were 14.
Oh my god.
And we split it with orange juice. We drank a carton of orange juice. Was that your
first time drinking ever?
So we didn't know. We had never drank. Okay. We were actually. I don't even think we were 14. We might have been like 13. We went out into a tent. My parents' backyard. This kind of sounding super homoerotic at this point. My adopted brother and I went into a tent late at night with nobody watching. And we killed a handle of E&J whiskey from top to bottom. And we chased with orange juice. And we didn't know. We were just like, we want to drink. We've never drank before. We were like 13 or whatever. We were fucking idiots, obviously. And dude, we didn't puke. It's not only we killed the whole thing. We didn't puke. Like, we didn't get sick. We weren't hungover the next day. We didn't black out.
Were you drunk?
Yeah,
I was going to say.
But we didn't know, so we kept drinking, waiting to feel drunk. And man, I guess we were used to killing sodas or whatever because we could drink fast. We killed the whole thing before we felt it. And then at the end, we looked at each other and we were like, oh no. And we were like just going crazy.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours, passed out, woke up fine.
A fucking handle of E&J.
Handle of E&J as a 13-year-old.
That doesn't sound bad though. That doesn't sound well.
I guess it could be worse, is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, a handle of E&J and then
you're just saying in terms of the experience. No, it's fucking fantastic. But I've heard of people that say this, like the very first time they drink, they go crazy. They drink a ton because they don't know how much you're supposed to drink to get drunk. And they were fine, like no hangover. They didn't puke. I think
that does make sense.
some people say your first time, like you're in the clear. You can do whatever.
Okay. Yeah, mine was like Smirnoff Ice. Yeah.
Did you drink a lot?
I drank a lot. I was
Did
drunk,
you puke?
but I didn't get like hungover.
Yeah, you didn't get sick?
Yeah, that's actually.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
This is something I'm going to tell my kids.
Yeah,
this is a great parenting moment for everybody. I'm going to tell them, drink as much alcohol as you possibly want.
Yeah. All right, well,
this was fun, dude.
Thank you so much, Carlo, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Again, man, like one of the guys that I look up to really. Like, I'm not trying to kiss his ass or anything, but he's a very talented guy, and I admire what he's been doing here ever since that I met him. And
likewise, man, you as well.
But thank you again, man.
Appreciate
you, Carlo.
This was a blast, brother. We're gonna do this again.
Till next time.
Peace.
See you soon.